What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Dutch Isle speaking, and today we're going to be going over the Spring Nights Festival. In the past, I've gone over one of the other monthly events as well, but since they're pretty much the same rewards every time, it's not worth doing it on a month-to-month basis. However, last month, when they updated the season event, they actually made a huge update, and I wanted to wait until it had been fully flushed or updated or set up properly to then do a video on it. So now that we're into this new season event, let's go over what the rewards are, how this works, and everything that's new with this season event. And the season event obviously is just referring to the monthly event. Previously it was the leprechaun guy. I can't recall what it's called because these names are super forgettable. The Spring Nights Festival. You already know how this works. It's a monthly event. You get points throughout the season and then you try to get as many points as possible. As you can see, I have a season booster right now. If you're quick, hopefully this is up by the time, hopefully this video is up by the time this is still up. Don't forget to get the free gift. Right now they're giving away a 500% season points booster and some other goodies for 24 hours. That's a crazy offer, to be completely honest, to be giving someone 500% bonus on their points. And just attacking some nomads, I've already gotten myself a majority of the way through this. I'm over halfway now, or almost over halfway. That's besides the point though. Just be sure you collect that and get on top of it. Let's jump into this new Spring Nights Festival event or season event in general. As you can see, the rewards themselves off rip are different. We're still getting the points or whatever you want to call these things, these tokens for that month. However, they are mixing in upgrade tokens and construction tokens along the way. This is always super helpful. This is going to be based on what legendary level you are. And I know that once you finish these 3,000 points at legendary level 950, you will unlock the second leg of the event where you can get even more points and even better rewards. So I'm going to be making the most of that as much as I can with this season points booster because I don't know if I want to spend money or additional money on this game. Now let's jump into the rankings because you might be wondering, hey, where are the top 250, top 100, and top 3 or top 1 rewards that usually are here? I should have recorded it last month, but they actually had a crazy glitch or bug when this went live where it was saying some weird numbers. It was saying like top 87, top 43, top 7 players, and it was giving out weird rewards based on that. I'm only mentioning this because for a big change as big as this one, it's a little bit obnoxious that when they push an event through, there's always a bug or always something kind of off with it, no matter what. It seems very hard for Goodgame Empire to actually push out a polished update, and I don't know if that falls onto the team or the execution, but it does feel like it happens every single time something new comes to this game, is that something is unpolished, unfinished, laggy, glitchy, etc. And I'm very sick of it. It seems like they got rid of it for this season, but it was their last season, and if you remember it, let me know in the comments below so I don't sound like a madman. They do divvy up the rewards based on your legendary level. It's a little bit disappointing, just a small tangent here, that you can't do the season event unless you are a legendary level 1 or higher, meaning anyone under level 70, this has been the case for a while now, but anyone under level 70 can't participate in these monthly events. And that's just awful because all these new players have kind of nothing to do aside from play normal events for the duration of their gaming experience on Goodgame Empire until level 70. It just doesn't make sense to me why you wouldn't make a version of this for people under level 70. And that's kind of why the game could be falling off, because these smaller players don't have something to do. Small thought there. The rewards are different based on what legendary level you are. As you can see, for anyone from legendary level 1 to 949, you get tokens and these really neat looking, wow, I didn't even realize this one's a permanent, but you get special look items, you get offerings to the new generals. The offerings are cool. However, these generals are the lowest rarity of any general we've had yet. So as much as this is cool that you can probably unlock them and level them up a good amount, it's also not very well thought out because they're not that good of generals. Why didn't we get the newest generals that are semi-decent? For example, there's that one. Why didn't we get more of these guys? I can't even remember his name, to be honest. Oh, I did have one, but I already forgot what his name is. Hassan, maybe? Let's double check. Yes, General Hassan. He's new. General TZ, she's new. but we don't get offerings to them. Just feels kind of short-sighted in my mind. But still, you get the new generals. That's interesting. And then for legendary level 650 to 949, you actually get capped off at 500, so you have to be within the top 500. Whereas with the ones before that, you just have to be within the top 1000. And then for legendary level 950, you have to be within the top 1,500, which makes sense because this is where the bulk of the players are. As you can see here, you can see 35,000 people are within this one. Then it goes down to 8,000, then 14,000. This kind of helps gauge how many players are actually in the game, so it's kind of interesting to take a look at. But back to the main thing, you might have noticed the server is being shown here. And it's funny I didn't touch on this sooner, but yeah, this is now an international multi-server seasonal event. I'm very interested in what you all think about this, because it's kind of two-sided, right? First of all, it's interesting because you have way more players to compete against, and it makes the event a lot more competitive. However, now you're going money for money, band for band, with players across the world to see who spends the most money to get the top spots. Instead of it just being a money off, a spending competition between your server, it's now been opened to anyone across the world within your legendary level reward tier. Another thing worth mentioning as well is that botting has been a prevalent problem in Goodgame Empire that seemingly keeps getting addressed but never necessarily fixed. So I'm not saying anyone here is botting whatsoever, but I am putting it out there that who knows if people across the globe have bots that you don't have, and who knows if they're using them to get higher in these events than anyone else. Just small things that I figure are worth pointing out, because yes, it might be easier as a small legendary level to place within the top 1000. I can't imagine all these players are tryharding as much as legendary level 950s. But then for legendary level 950s, it's a lot harder to get these top rewards because you're going up against so many other people with money, and the threshold of how much money you would spend to get into a top 1500 tier could be a lot more expensive now. Maybe in the past, you only had to spend $20 through an entire season to actually get the top 250 reward. But now, that could be as high as $50 to $100 if you want to get into the top 1,500 players, just because there's so many more people you're competing against. It's two-sided, like I said, you know? It's interesting, but it's also potentially bad for you if you're just a casual player. Now, the rewards themselves are also interesting. As I said, legendary level 950s are getting plaster and dragon scale splinters, and these same rewards as everybody else, except lower players are getting tokens, upgrade, and construction. This too is short-sighted in my mind, because I still need tokens. I can't really do that much with plaster or dragon scale splinters right now as I could with tokens in general. I'm still upgrading a ton of different things in my castle that need it. So I just don't understand why the reward for legendary level 950 isn't plaster, scale, splinters, and tokens. As I said, it feels poorly thought out, hence why I wanted to complain about it a little bit on this video. So then, as I've gone through, these rewards are pretty good, they're a lot better, but let's jump into the actual things you can redeem with these new tokens. So we've got the new highest public order that you can purchase flat out from Goodgame Empire, 4,350. Now, this probably means that they're going to be introducing higher public order decorations pretty soon. We've already seen the giant 20 by 20 ones, but I imagine maybe the affluence wheel is going to get some new decorations as well. That's just me being, if I had to guess what was going to happen. But we can now purchase higher public order items, which is good. It's also, I don't know. I have a feeling that these 4,350 public order items aren't going to be worth much. In addition to this, everything in the game is exalted. So unless you're a small player who really needs the public order, I don't really see a reason to purchase this, to be honest. It's really nice. It's really high public order, but why would you choose this over an exalted decoration that might be lower public order, but it does have additional benefits like recruitment speed or tool speed or something like that? So really curious what the thought process is for this. Then we've got this appearance slot for the research tower. It's not bad. It's the exact same one we saw last season, so that's why I'm not too excited about it. I don't know why they are just using the same one 2 months in a row. It's not a bad one. It gives you, probably 40,000 additional troop capacity. At the same time, though, it's not helping with attack or defense or anything along those lines. We've got, you know, a permanent look item. Those are always neat. You can get 20 offerings to Ludwig for 6,000. That's interesting. I personally don't think that it maths out that well. You could get 6 offerings to Ulrich. You could get 2 offerings to Beatrice. And for the exact same price, see, it's a little bit odd, right? 4,000 for 2, which means technically one of these from Beatrice is only 2,000. But then one Tom and Alice's offering to Ludwig is 2,000. So they're the exact same price, except technically the offering to Beatrice will get you a better commander, or general I should say, if you chose to go with that. I can understand why you might want to purchase the Tom and Alice's offering to Ludwig. I can understand it. However, I want to remind you that these new generals are not that good. They only have a 1 slot for anything. I don't know. They're not that good. So to me, it doesn't seem like it would be worth actually purchasing or spending your hard-earned tokens on the offering to Tom and Alice. On the contrary, they do give better rewards than Beatrice. I believe they give you potential affluence tickets or way more troops. I think it was like 4,000 of each or something. So it's really interesting because it's giving you a worse general, but it's giving you better common rewards. I don't even know what to think at the end of the day with this. It's really up to you. You can also buy plaster straight up, which is good for any player that needs plaster. Affluence tickets we've seen before, 2,500 for 10. That's a decent deal. I can't recall if that's the best deal they've had before. I don't believe so. You can get construction token, upgrade tokens, skeet. They did make it where you no longer have to purchase ruby troops, because that was the dumbest thing ever. Why on earth, as a legendary level 950, would I want to purchase ruby troops with my points when I could buy mead troops anywhere else? So they did update that, which is cool. Still, same exact thing though. Why hadn't that been done way sooner? And then we have just casual tools to use. So overall, I'm not entirely that excited about these rewards. None of them are that new or innovative. I originally, when I first saw it, was super excited until I kind of realized that at the end of the day, they're not that great. As for the reward, or the seasonal event itself, I should say, I like it. I think it's a good step in the right direction. If they're going to make everything international, I understand putting them all into the same exact thing, but I do think that the rewards themselves are poorly thought out. I think that the only real benefit of all of this updating is just getting more rewards from completing the actual event itself. I think if you're not in the top spots for these rewards, then they're kind of useless. For smaller players who aren't legendary level 950, I think this is a good update, and I think that you're all going to enjoy it a lot. For people who are legendary 950, if you don't spend money, this is indifferent to you. You're not going to get anything really out of it. Maybe with the season points booster, you can turn something around. Maybe you can make something happen that I can't. That's really all I have to say, to be totally honest. There's a lot going into this new seasonal event. I think that a lot of it was poorly thought out, poorly executed as well. And I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comments below. It seems like a step in the right direction, but the execution and everything involved and the rewards themselves don't really make it seem as interesting as it could be. So let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.